Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode in the series, hosted by yours truly, as usual, Keelloo, episode 4. So, today's topics are going to be a little bit random because I was having trouble coming up with kind of cohesive topics. So, we're going to be talking about TV, my anime preferences, and the visual novel Miagete Goran Yozora no Hoshi. So, without further ado, let's just get started. So TV. I'm not really much of a TV guy in general. I used to be. I used to, as a younger person, had the TV on all the time. I was watching, crappy stuff that, like most kids do. Uh, and then I took a really, really long respite from TV. Like, I didn't watch TV in general. Like, I didn't have the TV on at all for a really long time. I want to say it's been like 2 years. But kind of recently got back into it. Because one, it's good background noise. And two, there are some legitimately good shows out there. You just have to find them. So, I kind of do both. I kind of keep it on one for background noise, or two if I'm feeling like watching it. There's a few shows that, if they're on, are really, really good. So I'm going to talk about just three of the shows I watch because the other background stuff is really irrelevant. So, The Office. This is a kind of an old one that's kind of been lauded as a not a sleeper hit, but just an amazing comedy, and it really is. The Office is hilarious. Steve Carell is just brilliant, and the other actors who are in it are just they do such a good job. I mean, Dwight, Jim, I can go on and on, but yeah, The Office is kind of my current thing I actually care about watching because it is that good. It's just they do such a good job of everything, like the filming, the actor choice, the script, everything. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. So that's the first show that I'm really, really into. Um, the next show is Mom. Mom's kind of a newer one. It's the show that kind of shows the life of a recovering alcoholic and her daughter, who's also a recovering alcoholic, and the lives they live and how they kind of get through all these crazy antics and crap. And uh, Bonnie, who is one of the titular characters, does such a good job at it. It blows my mind. I mean, not that the other actors are worse, bad, but she does an amazing job. I think I read that, um, not that I believe in TV critics or anything, but they say that she has been like looked at as, wow, this woman is doing such a good job at acting. It's incredible on a TV show, especially in a role that's kind of iffy to begin with. You really have to be a good actress to do that role right, but she does. And still airing actually. Uh, Sadly, I don't think it's on Netflix, the full series. I mean, I don't like Netflix that much, but I have it. Uh, there's only a few shows on it that are in full, and I don't want to buy it. So I just have to rely on hoping that it's on TV at some point. It's usually on like really early in the morning, which is good for me because I'm up until like 4 a.m. So there's that. And the third show I'll talk about really quickly, or not quickly, is Two and a Half Men. Two and a Half Men's kind of controversial. There's this crowd that really, really likes it, and this crowd that really, really thinks it's, like hateful and racist and whatever. But I love Charlie Sheen personally. I think he's one of the funniest actors. Um, John Cryer, I'm not a huge fan of the guy who plays his brother, but this show cracks me up every single time I watch it. There's never been an episode where I haven't just laughed my ass off. And for that to, be a thing is a really big deal. um, I think, there's like four main-ish characters. There's Charlie Sheen, there's his brother, his son, and Berta, the woman who cleans his house. He hires her to clean his house. And John Cryer is kind of lame, but Jake, his son, he's stupid as hell. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you watch the show, you instantly realize that he's stupid as hell. But he does such a good job at fulfilling that role of being stupid as hell. And Charlie Sheen does a great job of being a lush because he kind of was one at one point in life. And Berta's just like Berta. She's sarcastic, she's bitchy, but just the script that the writers, it's amazing. It's probably my favorite TV show of all time. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, but uh, that's that. Before we move on to the next topic, um, another few TV shows that I want to quickly reference. I'm not going to talk about them. George Lopez, Home Improvement, Parks and Recreation, um, South Park, I guess, are all really good ones as well. I just don't really make those a huge preference. Like those prior three are the ones I go to. Home Improvement is probably number four because it's on so much and blah blah blah. But I guess that's really all I have to say for TV. So let's move on to topic number two, which is a kind of conflicting one. Anime. Um, Despite the fact that I collect a lot of anime merchandise, I really don't collect I really don't watch that much anime. I do from time to time. I do go through a series every once in a while, but I don't really keep up with what's going on in terms of like the seasonal anime and blah blah blah. Which, it seems so paradoxical to me because like I said, I one of my main hobbies is collecting anime related merchandise. Yet I don't watch much anime. I've watched the Love Live anime like what? I don't know, a dozen times already. But in terms of new anime, no, I'm not really that interested. I'm just not. I'm sure I'm missing out on a lot of good quality anime. I know that for a fact. But it's just, I don't really care. I'm not I've never been much of an anime watcher because, like I said, I don't even watch TV that much. So for me to find a really good quality anime that keeps my interest is a real task. But anyway, let's talk about what my preferences are. Um, I let's just kind of look at an overview. The majority of people who come into anime, in my opinion at least, come in watching a shonen, which are like the battle anime or the male-oriented anime, like Naruto or One Piece or Bleach. I hate those personally. So what I did was just kind of jump right into the kind of nicher areas. Like they call it cute girls doing cute things. And I say that in quotes because it's kind of a just given term, a real like given title to the genre. Um, so shows like Love Live, obviously, Kanira Mosaic, Non Biori, um, Goshima wa Usagi Deska, things like those where it's just there's not really any huge plot focus. It's just cute girls doing random things. There's a plot, of course. Like I'm not saying there's no plot, but that's what that is. That's kind of what my go-to is because it's light. It's you know generally enjoyable to watch. The characters are it's usually a character focused show, which is what I prefer personally. Oh, excuse me. So that's what I go to. I think my favorite cute girls doing cute things show. I'm not gonna say Love Live because that's a completely different story. But I'd say it's probably a tie between Kanira Mosaic and High School Fleet, and neither of which are like 10 of 10 shows by a long shot. But I think they do a good job of you know getting across what you can do with one of these kind of shows. It's like a slice of life, but there's some kind of other plot going on at the same time that you can follow. So that's my preferences personally. I mean, I know if you're a fan of shonen, if you're a fan of shoujo, if you're a fan of, any of the big stuff, that's completely fine, but I just have never been able to get behind um, those shows. Never could like Naruto, never could like One Piece. So I just kind of just went down some other path, which, whatever, that's okay. But sometimes I wonder if I'm missing out on something. Like, are my tastes just shit? Or are their tastes just shit? Or is everyone's taste just shit? It's kind of going out of the way a bit, but it's kind of how I feel about the current state of my anime, uh, whatever, career, career. But yeah, um, as I've said in the previous video, I prefer visual novels over anime for a number of reasons, which I'm not going to go into in this video, but visual novels I just felt are much better written, The characters are better, the art's better. It's not forced, doesn't seem forced. But if you want to hear me talk about visual novels, go to the previous video. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to briefly touch upon the kind of super niche side, which is ecchi and hentai, of course. Uh, ecchi is just like the teasing kind of thing. You know, there's not full on nudity, but there's a lot of teases. Like, you know, it's close, but it's not gonna happen because of reasons. Obviously, hentai is the meme. Hentai is, you know, the thing you watch if you want to watch porn. That's really all there is to it. There's very few that I'm aware of that have good characters or anything. I mean, personally, I don't like hentai. I think a lot of it is just too obscene. It's not even enjoyable. Not even the enjoyable kind of porn. Why am I talking about this? This is kind of embarrassing, but um, ecchi and hentai are kind of the reasons that anime can get a bad rap, and that's completely understandable. I see where they're coming from 100%. It's really, really easy to just think. You see this anime and you think, oh, well, it's near porn or actual porn. So a lot of other anime must be like this as well, which isn't true, but it's really easy to see why people think that. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say about anime. I mean, there's really not much else I can think of that I want to talk about because I talked about anime merch and all that other stuff in my first video, which is the majority of my experience with it. So I'm probably just going to end this topic here. Now, I'm just going to take a moment to uh, eat something, get a drink. So I'll be a bit. So sorry about that. All right, I'm back. So let's go with our last topic for the day, which is my talk on Miagete Goran Yozora no Hoshi, which is a visual novel. Um, I know I talked about visual novels in the previous episode in general, but I kind of wanted to talk about this because this one really made an impact on me. Like, I thought it was just a really good overall, well done story, well done characters, well done art, and I felt it was worth talking about for a little bit. So let's get into that. So I'm just going to refer to this as Miagete Goran, known as, in English, the translation is called A Sky Full of Stars. Translated by Moe Novel. It's originally by the company called Pull Top. And it's a story about, it's like a slice of life about astronomy. Um, there's like an astronomy club, and there's four girls, and obviously there's a guy, so it's like a harem, sort of. Um, in my opinion, I think all four characters were really well done. Maybe I'm just inexperienced in this field, but I felt they were well done and interesting, and I think each route had its merits, which I've never really found in any other VN that's been translated. Maybe I just haven't read enough, but uh, I really, really enjoy every route in this game. Maybe some more than others. Um, the routes are Saya, Hikari, Orihime, and Corona. Uh, Saya, Saya's route, I think, is the definite, definitive way to play the game. But that's not to say that the other three aren't worth looking at. And hell, I mean, the game itself is really long. Each route, if you're gonna play each route, it's gonna take you like 40 hours. But get your bang for your buck at least. But as someone who was into astronomy as a younger person, I think that kind of uh, solidified my interest in the game. I actually learned a decent amount about astronomy from this game. Like, as I said in the previous video, these are actual works of fiction. Like, it's actual writing. And you can actually learn things. Like, you know, um, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I'm just going to say that right now. Um, in the early part of the game, they talk about this dual star pair called Alberio, which are these two stars that shine orange and blue, which um, are the colors of Saya, like I said, one of the main girls. One of her features, it's her two eye colors. Like she has, what is it called, heterochromism or something. Um, so that was really cool, actually. I know it's kind of novel and maybe even lame, if you want to think that, but that was one example. And they talk a lot about just looking at the stars and the names of the constellations and telescopes. And again, I know that's not really a huge point of interest for a lot of people, but as I said, when I was younger, I was really into space stuff like stars and the Big Bang and galaxies, everything related to that. So this kind of hit home for me, which I think is a big deal for a visual novel. Someone has to, feel like they have an interest, feel like they can connect with whatever they're talking about. So I really, really recommend it. I know there's a lot of hate behind Moe novels releases, their translations, but I didn't really have that many issues in terms of like awful translation quality. So you can just maybe take my word on that, but that was my experience. I had a good time with it. A few translation errors, but uh, probably my favorite visual novel that I've read so far is that. It's just, they do a good job of what they are setting out to do, which is a slice of life stuff. Two, character interaction between not only the characters but with the main titular character, and C, the main kind of sorry, draw of the game, which in this case obviously is astronomy. They did a really good job of informing people of what astronomy it is, um, kind of focusing around the plot of what astronomy can be, what it can do, why it matters, so stuff like that. So I think that's really all I have to say about Miagete. Just to summarize, Saya is best girl, astronomy is cool, and it's got a lot of routes that are worth it. Okay, so like I said, I think I'm gonna close it out now because I don't like it when the file size gets this big. So thank you again for watching, and I hope, as always, that this was interesting, enjoyable to listen to, and I will see you in the next episode. Sayonara.